Hey there guys, it's Tim, and I wanted to share a message with you today about how to maintain consistency even with an inconsistent schedule. Now, even those of you who have a regular 9 to 5, you can get into somewhat of a routine. You all know how challenging it can be to stay consistent with your exercise, with your nutrition, with staying in a positive mental attitude. And so all of these things add up to making it more challenging to maintain consistency. Now, those of you who've begun on a health and fitness journey, you're starting to get results, or you've had results in the past, you realize that it's the consistency that actually allows you to build enough momentum to get those results. And I talk a lot about consistency here on the channel because I found it to be the key to everything if you're looking to change the way you look and the way you feel in your life, okay? So today I'm talking a little bit about people who have an inconsistent schedule, myself included. And I'm going to give you some examples of what's worked for me over the years with the sort of schedule I've had to maintain. And I believe it all starts with your mentality about your decision to make a change in your life. Now, a lot of people out there, you start off, you get to a point of being dissatisfied with the way that you look, the way that you feel. You know you want to get in better shape. It's a feeling you get, and you know that there's ways to do it out there. You've seen other people do it. You've seen the transformational videos and stories online. Maybe you even had a friend who got some great results, and you know that you can do it and you want to do it, but you also want it to fit into your lifestyle and into your schedule because even if it's not something that's serving you, you've created a certain sort of routine within your life. And to add something new into it is always going to throw things out of whack a little bit. And in the beginning, it's going to be very challenging. There's going to be days where you have a long day ahead of you and you haven't built the momentum with your workouts enough to, make the decision that I'm going to make a workout happen today, even though I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to fit it in. You adopt the mentality of when I'm going to do this and how I'm going to do this rather than am I going to do this. It's a matter of when rather than if. Okay, so because if you put the word if in there, if you look at your days and you look at your weeks and say, well, I hope I can get a workout in, or I hope I can eat healthy today, then guess what? It's probably not going to happen, unless all the stars align and you have all this free time. And even then, if you're adopting that mentality, it's going to be very easy for you to put it off until tomorrow and just take that day as a relaxation day. You're like, hey, I deserve it. It's not a busy day. I rarely get the time to take this recreational time, so I'm just going to use this for my own personal relaxation, which, hey, that's important too, but it is important and critical that if you want to make changes in your life, that you have to make this a non-negotiable, okay? So it starts right there with your mentality about how you look at your health and fitness and how you look at this as a non-negotiable. Just like planning out your work days, you don't always want to go to work. You don't always want to show up at 9 o'clock to clock in to do your 8 hours and come home, but you have to do it to make a living. And so it becomes a non-negotiable. No matter what else is going on in your life, no matter what else you'd rather be doing, you make that work happen, and you make it happen week in and week out because you have to support yourself financially, right? So this is no different. Now, it can be hard to get that into your mind in that way because, if you don't do it today, you're not going to die. You're not going to, probably feel a whole lot different than you did yesterday. And one workout, if you do get it in there, you'll feel a little better afterwards, but it's probably, it's not going to make any kind of visible difference for you just right now. So it's hard to get that into your mentality in the beginning, but realize that you have to have the consistency to build enough momentum to get the results that you're wanting to see. And in order to do that, you have to come in day out. You have to do it even when you don't feel like it. And so in this way, when you approach looking at your schedule with this mentality, this makes it much easier to maintain consistency even if you have an inconsistent schedule. Now, I happen to travel a lot for my other job outside of what I do as a coach. I travel, I'm on the road usually at least 100 days out of the year. And a lot of times those schedules, I'm not working like a 9 to 5. I might be working in the morning hours one day and in the night hours the next day. So I can't necessarily plan out a specific time every single day to do my workouts. And, being that I'd be in a hotel room, I don't necessarily have the ability to cook and to make the sort of healthy meals that I'm able to make at home a little bit more easy when I have access to a kitchen. So I have to plan for those things ahead of time. I realize I'm going to be staying in a hotel, so I realize a lot more of my meals, if I'm going to eat healthy and I'm going to stay on some sort of a budget rather than just eating out every single meal, I'm going to have to get things that are pre-prepared. I'm going to have to go to the store and find pre-made salads, wraps. I'm going to have to get the sort of snacks in between, like healthy nut mixes and energy bars, things like that keep me going so I can maintain that same 5-meal-a-day schedule that I do when I'm at home. And it's just going to be stuff that's a little bit more prepackaged. I might not get to eat as many warm dinners as I normally would at home, but it's for a specific amount of time, and I know how to approach that because I've taken the time to look at it, and it's like, how can I get in my 5 healthy meals during the day and still maintain that consistency? When I look at my schedule, the days that I'm working at nighttime, I'll plan out to do my workout in the morning. And I might try to do that on the days where I work in the morning as well, if it's not too early of a morning. But sometimes that's not possible for me to still get enough sleep and do that every day. So I'll have to plan for that workout to go a little bit later in the day. And I actually make that part of my calendar, okay? You plan it out just like an appointment you have, like a dentist appointment you have to go to, or your daughter's dance recital, your son's baseball game. You make those non-negotiables. This thing is happening at this time, no matter what. I have this appointment. Even if a friend calls me at that time and wants to chat, I haven't caught up for a while, it's like, hey, I'd love to catch up with you, but I got to get this workout in. I can call you afterwards. It has to be that important to you to make the consistency and to develop the consistency that's going to give you enough momentum to create those results, the way you want to look, the way you want to feel, all those things that you want in your life. This has to be that important to you, okay? So that is my advice for you today. Make sure, working on that mentality, make sure you're tapping into what makes this that important for you. And I've had another video out here, and I talk about this quite a bit, about getting connected to your why, that deep emotional reason for why you want to make this improvement in your life. Because until you're connected to that, you're not going to have enough fuel to stick with the motivation to create the consistency in the first place. You're going to just be doing it begrudgingly. And so as you go about your activities with a begrudging attitude, you're going to get begrudging results, which are not going to be ones that you're going to like. So take that time to tap into what your emotional reasons are, why you want to do this, and then keep telling yourself, it's like, this has to happen. This has to be as important to me as going to work, as any appointment I set, as anything I'm doing in my life right now. This has to be just as important as those. And if I put it on my calendar and I put it on my schedule, then keep that sacred. That has to happen at that time, okay? And even if something comes in and you've planned it out a specific time and something truly emergency comes in, you have to go do something else during that time, you move that block to some other time of the day and you figure out a way to make it happen, okay? That's pretty much what it comes down to, guys. So if you have questions about this, anything to add, please put it in the comments below. Any questions? I love having discussions here on the channel, and hope this helped out today. I look forward to hearing from you, and you guys have a great week. Take care.